This is the second attempt to make a video for lesson 17. Hopefully it works well this time. So, all right, we begin. If we were in the class, I would have you actually do this and see how it works. But if you take a triangle and if you cut off all of the angles and then you fit them all together, you end up making a straight line. And this next point right here, if you remember that a straight line is a total of 180 degrees, that concept right there proves for us the triangle sum theorem, which states that all three angles in a triangle have to add up to 180. So if one of them's 50 and the other is 50, you're at 100, the third has to be 80, right? You see that? Or if one of them's 40, you're at 80, the third has to be 100. I can keep on going. If one of them is 20 and then the other one is 30, that's a total of 50. So the last one has to be 130 to get you 180. So basically the point is that any combination of angles in a triangle have to add up to 180. So think about number one. If a triangle is equiangular meaning equal angles, can you use the triangle sum theorem to prove that each angle equals 60 degrees? Explain below. So think about it. If it's equiangular, all the angles have to be exactly the same. So do three 60-degree angles add up to 180? Yes, they do. Is there any other number that if you use it 3 times, you get to 180? No, there's not. All right, so now the interior of a triangle is formed by two sides of the triangle. This interior angle of a triangle. So basically, let me read these definitions and then I'll draw this for you. This is where if you try to do this when the video wasn't working, I think it'd be really hard to understand just from the description. But when you see me draw it, I think it'll be a lot clearer for you. So interior angle is formed by two sides. So it's basically an inside angle. An exterior angle is formed by one side of the triangle and an extension of an adjacent side, meaning you take a side of the triangle and then you have a side sticking out. And then a remote interior angle is an interior angle that is not next to an exterior angle. So basically what it's saying is that if I have a triangle, make sure I'm in view, any of these would be considered interior angles, okay? But if one of the sides extends, now what happens is then this becomes the exterior angle. And once again, this is interior, this is interior, this is interior. But then in order to describe the interior angles that are not touching the exterior angle, we call them remote interior angles. So this is a remote interior angle. And then right here. And this right here, up here, is a remote interior angle. So we'll have interior angle, just plain interior, remote interior, and exterior. So when we need to do this, when we need to label angle 1, so go ahead now and do the next 4 questions. Do numbers 2, 3, 4, and 5, now that you've seen my drawing. So press pause, do those questions, and then come back and see what we do. All right, so number 2, when you have to label the first angle, that is a remote interior. Number 3, angle 2, that's also a remote interior. Angle 3, that's just an interior. It's not remote because it's next to the exterior. And then angle 4, that's an exterior angle. Okay, and then the last concept we need to get, and that'll allow us to then start doing different math problems here, is the exterior angle theorem. And what this tells us, you can maybe like guess this by looking at it. What'll happen, whatever this angle is, this exterior angle, that equals adding your 2 remote interiors together. Think about why that works. Let's do this. Let's say if there's a reason this works, and it has to do with the triangle sum theorem. So if I have a triangle right here, and let's say if this one is 40, then I want you to think, because this is a straight line, it adds up to 180. So 40 plus what is going to give me 180? Well, 40 plus 140. So this has to be 140. Okay? Now, let's ignore the exterior angle for a bit. What do these two have to add up to? Together, remember all the angles in a triangle have to add up to 180. So together, these have to be 40. That way they add up with 140 to make 180. It could be 10 and 30. It could be 20 and 20. It could be 35 and 5. But the point is that if this is 180, then, if this is 140, then it's going to combine with the other two triangles to get 180. Because all of the angles in a triangle have to make 180. But then this would also have to be 40. Why? Because this is a straight line. So both of these angles have to make 180. So because the exterior angle and the interior have to make 180, but then the exterior and the two remotes have to make 180, that then means if we ignore the interior right here, the two remotes always add up to make the exterior, always. So what we're going to do a series of questions here where we're going to use that concept to set up what will equal what, and that will allow us to solve for x. That's what we're going to be doing here. So this is the type of problem we'll have to do. If you look at it, it tells us that this right here is 124, and it tells us that angle 2 is 3 times as big as angle 1. So what they do, they say by the exterior angle, we know that 1 and 2, if we add them together, they have to equal this exterior angle. They have to equal 124. And then we know that angle 2 is triple of angle 1. So look at the equation that they set up. 1 and 2 have to make 124, right? Look right here. Angle 1 and angle 2 have to make 124. That makes sense. And then they told me that angle 1 is triple of angle 2. So angle 1 plus 3 of angle 1 is going to make 124. Add those together, that's 4 angle 1s. So then divide by 4, and you have angle 1 is 31. Okay, and then you can just go back to this. Angle 1 and 2 had to make 124. Plug in what angle 1 is, solve for angle 2. And then last but not least, this will always be easy. You just know that 124 plus whatever angle 3 is has to be 180. So angle 3 is going to be 56. So that's how we do that. All right. Let's do this problem right here. Measurement of angle 2 is 10x plus 2. So I'm going to label this as I do it, and then I'll make this big so you can see it too. So we have a triangle right here. All right, and then this right here is 138 degrees. And then right here we have angle 3, and they don't tell us anything about angle 3. And then right here we have angle 2, and they tell me that angle 2 is, so we have angle 2, and they tell me that angle 2 is 10x plus 2. And then up here we have angle 1, and they tell me that angle 1 is 11x minus 11. Okay, let me make this big so you can see it. First, we need to solve for angle 1. So I'll do this. If you think you can do this, try this problem. So press pause, give this a try. You can maybe look at my diagram, see how I set it up. Press pause, give this a try, and then press play and see how I do it. Okay, so here's the relationship we know. This right here has to equal these two added together. So let's just set it up as 138 has to equal these two added together. So 11x minus 11 plus 10x plus 2. Before we can do any math with this, let's combine like terms. So 138 equals, we'll add this together, so we have 21x minus 9. So we'll do plus 9. And we have 147 equals 21x. So we'll divide by 21, divide by 21. And this should be 7. 147 divided by 21 gives us 7. So x equals 7. So we know x is 7. And then they first want me to figure out angle 1. And so let's just go to what they told me. Angle 1 is 11x minus 11. So to solve for angle 1, so make sure where you can see what I'm doing. So angle 1 equals 11x minus 11. Can you see that okay? No, you can't. I'm not even in the screen. Is there more room on this side? I gotta make sure that I stay on the actual screen. I'll just scoot it like this. There we go. Okay, so let's solve for angle 1. So angle 1 is 11x minus 11. And we know right here that x equals 7. So angle 1, we're going to have 11 times 7 minus 11. So angle 1, we're going to have 77 minus 11. So angle 1, we're going to have 66. So there we go. We solved for angle 1. And then let's solve, what do we have next? Angle 1, angle 2. So let's solve for angle 2. So it's going to be the exact same process, except for angle 2, we're going to use, angle 2 was 10x plus 2. So angle 2 equals 10x plus 2. So angle 2 equals 10 times 7 plus 2. Angle 2 equals 70 plus 2. Angle 2 equals 72. There we go. So now, then angle 2 equals 72. And then last but not least, let's figure out angle 3. That's going to be the easiest to figure out. Let's just look at that. Angle 3, look right here. Angle 3 and angle 138, if you add them together, they have to be 180 because they're a straight line. So just do what's 180 minus 138? What's missing? That'd be 42. So you know, lastly, angle 3 is 42 degrees. Okay, let's do another one of these. Use the figure below for angles 9 through 10. I think I can edit this, so make sure it says that. Oh, it does say it. It's just I'm in the wrong view. Okay, so number 9. Let's find measurement angle 1. Okay, this one's actually going to be a little bit easier than the last one. There's a little bit less going on here. All right, so we have, and as usual, guys, pause it, try it yourself, and then come back and watch me do it. I think if you can understand the last one, you should be able to do this no problem. So pause it, try it, and then come back and see what I do. I need to get a better pen. Hold on, excuse me for 1 second. I got to find a better pen. All right, so we have 125, 125 right here, and then we have angle 2, we have 90, and then we have angle 1. All right, so what's angle 1, and then what's angle 2? That's all we're figuring out. So this one's not going to be too much of a problem. 125 right here, angle 2, 90, and then angle 1. So let's do this. 125 has to equal these two angles together, right? So 125 has to be 90 plus angle 1. Right? See how simple that is? Just the exterior angle has to equal these two angles across from it. So let's go minus 90. Minus 90, so we get 35 equals angle 1. And that's it. There's angle 1, 35 degrees. Angle 2 is even easier because just think about this. Together, these have to make 180. So just do 180 minus 125. That's really all you got to think about. 180 minus 125. And we get 55 degrees. And so that's what angle 2 is. Angle 2 is 55 degrees. So you should get 35 and 55 for your answers. So 35 for angle 1 and then 55 for angle 2. That's the last question. Okay, here's the last one. So again, try 11 through 14. Try to set this thing up. Try to solve the problems yourself. And if you're still struggling, then go ahead and watch the rest of this and see how I do. All right, so let's set it up. All right. So here's what I've drawn. We have 2x plus 2. We have x plus 4. We have x. I've just labeled what's on there. Now, first, it wants me to figure out angle A. So let's think about what relationships can we use. We basically learned about two different relationships in this lesson. We've learned that your two remote interior angles equal the exterior angle. Do we know anything about the exterior angle right here? Not really. What else do we know? That all these angles have to add up to 180. So let's set up a problem like that. So let's do 2x plus 2, so that's this angle right here, plus x plus 4, plus this angle right here, x. You see that? All that stuff, and what does all that stuff have to equal? 180 degrees. Okay, you see that? All three of those angles have to add up to 180. So let's combine all of them. So 2x, x, x, so that'll be a total of 4x. And then 2, 4, that's all we've got. So 2 plus 4, so it's going to be 4x plus 6 equals 180 degrees. Now let's try to solve for x. So minus 6, 4x equals 174. So then we divide by 4. We divide by 4. Let me make sure that I've done all of this right. Yeah, okay. So 4 is going to go into 174. We're going to get a decimal here. So let's see. 4 is going to go into that. It would go into 40 to be 160. I think 43.5. 43.5 is what we'll get for x. Let me double check one more time, make sure I'm doing that right. 160, that'd be 12. Yeah, so 43.5. So x is 43.5. So now let's keep that in mind, and we're going to use that to figure out angle A, angle C, and then this angle ABD. So the first thing we need to figure out is angle A, so the angle up on top. So angle A is how many degrees? So let's go ahead and solve this problem. So x is 43.5, and angle A is 2x plus 2. So to solve for angle A, let me do this thing again. Move it so you can see. Oh, wrong direction. So let's solve for angle A. So angle A is 2x plus 2, and x is 43.5. So it's going to be 43.5 plus 2. Make sure, yeah, you can see that. Okay, so 2 times 43.5, we're going to get 87 plus 2, and so we're going to get 89. So for angle A, you will select 89 degrees. Let's do angle C. So angle C is right over here. So angle C is x plus 4, and make sure you can see that. Okay, yeah, you can see that. And then we know that x is 43.5. So we have 43.5 plus 4, and so we get 47.5. So angle C right here is 47.5. And then we do ABC, which is going to be the angle right in here. ABC. What is angle ABC? ABC. What is this angle right here? It's x. And what is x? 43.5. So angle ABC is just x, which is 43.5. So you literally have to do no work to figure that one out. So right here we have 43.5. And then ABD. You could actually take two different approaches. If you know that this angle right here, remember we solved it, was 89. So this angle right here is 89 degrees. And then we solved this angle right here is 47.5. Can you even see that? I know I'm running out of room, but angle A up there is 89. You can see the 89 right there. and then 47.5. Add those two together. Remember, these two angles always equal that exterior angle. So we just do 89. So this angle right here is 89 plus 47.5. And so when we do that, we will get 96.5 plus 40, 136.5. And so the last one, ABD, is 136.5. One other thing you could have done is probably what actually is faster is just look, if you know that this is 43.5, then think to yourself, what's 180 minus 43.5? Like I said, typically there's normally multiple ways to do this, but that's how we do that. So sorry if there's any confusion with the first version of the video not working. And as always, email me if you have any questions.